Hello again, Struckweb. Today I'm bringing you a guide about the meditation realm, also called meditation plane in Magic Legends, and this is your base of operations. In Magic Legends, players unlock their own base of operations very early in the game. This place is referred to as the Meditation Realm or Meditation Plane. As I said, it is where our Plainswalkers can build and upgrade various workstations, or referred to as structures sometimes, that each have their own functionalities. There are so far 5 known structures to me: Aetheric Core, Arcane Workshop, Mystical Study, Mana Vault, and the Prophetic Quill. There have also been rumors circulating about a cartographer structure, but that was just the Prophetic Quill's old name. Some of those structures had older names and they were kind of changed. For example, Arcane Workshop was Artificer's Workshop, Mystical Study was called something like an Arcane Library or something like that. Let's take a closer look at each of those 5 structures, starting with the Aetheric Core. The Aetheric Core is the core structure of your realm. I'm not sure if this is a pun intended, maybe a pun intended in the description of the Aetheric Core in the game. Upgrading the Aetheric Core grants you access to more advanced buildings and better resource generation. In this structure you can build 5 types of land corresponding to the 5 mana types, and the more lands of the same type you have, the higher spell ranks can benefit from that bonus. More about lands in a moment. The Aetheric Core and all other workstation structures can be upgraded all the way to rank 6. For now, maybe they're gonna make it higher later, but for now rank 6 is the limit, and I hope it stays that way. And reaching the highest upgrade on each structure would take some grinding for mana, for gold. In general, the mana would be probably the harder one to get out of the two. Now let's talk about lands. Quickly mention what lands do. Lands have 2 major purposes. They are needed to rank up your Aetheric Core, and they also reduce the number of spell pages required to upgrade your spells. But here's a catch. Upgrading your Aetheric Core to rank 3, for example, would require owning one of each type of land, plus a rank 2 Mystical Study, a rank 2 Arcane Workshop, and a rank 2 Mana Vault. And there are 5 types of land, as I mentioned, each corresponding to a certain mana type. Let's give you an example of how this effect, the second effect that reduces the number of spell pages, works. So first, it's good to know that lands no longer are built one by one, and you build them as a pack. You build every level 1 land all together as a single project, and then you upgrade every single land to level 2 and so on and so forth. As soon as you build your level 1 lands, this will allow you to upgrade spells of every color for minus 75% cost. It used to be 50% cost reduction, now it's 75% cost reduction. So even more of a reason to be upgrading after you have built the required land, most of your spell pages, most of your spells, so you can save some spell pages. And then next, as soon as you build your rank 2 lands, this would allow you to upgrade rank 2 spells to rank 3. Then you build the rank 3 lands, and it allows you to upgrade rank 3 to rank 4 with that reduction. It's pretty simple, straightforward, and I like the change where we no longer build the lands one after the other. And I think the lands as well go up to level 6, rank 6, but maybe they would be able to give us more lands in the future that go up to rank 10, we'll see. If you want to make the most out of your spell pages, you might want to be a little bit frugal with the upgrades, unless you start feeling underpowered and maybe feel like a certain spell needs to be upgraded for you to be able to keep progressing through the content. But I would say upgrade the most important spells of your deck at first, until you've gotten the next piece of corresponding land that would let you upgrade at half the cost, so you can kind of be more clever about your spell pages. Next, let's talk about the Mystical Study. Since we're talking about mana and spell pages, maybe it's great to talk about the Mystical Study next. This workstation allows you to unlock new classes, learn new spells, and gain spell pages, which is actually time gated, to increase the power of existing spells. A higher mystical study rank grants access to more and higher rarity spells. And here is an example of the unlock class functionality. It costs 2000 refined ether, 50,000 gold coins and 2000 chromatic mana, which means mana of every type. The ether is definitely a small price, but 2000 mana of each type could take a while to get. As you can see, a level 1 mystical study does not give you research spells. But a level 2 mystical study would allow you to start gaining spell pages for spells you currently own, which, as I mentioned, is a time-gated progress. But level 1 mystic study gives you access to some spells that you can learn, such as Gawain Griffin, Stitch Drake, Infest, Drakesworn Cleric and a few more. And once you get level 2 mystical study, it unlocks more spells, and level 3 even more, and so and so. You keep getting access to new and more spells with normally better rarity, the higher the level of the mystical study. And just like the other workstations, the mystical study can be upgraded up to rank 6. And the higher mystical study ranks would cost quite a bit. Next is the Arcane Workshop. And this workstation grants access to relic caches in the world. It also lets you craft some artifacts and equipment, which are not that great. I don't think the equipment and artifacts you can craft in the Arcane Workshop, at least the ones I've seen, are that amazing. But it's good to keep it in mind that you can craft some there. The higher the Arcane Workshop rank, the more functionality you can unlock. Plainswalkers will not be able to find certain artifact rarities until the necessary project has been made. The project that enables those drops. You need to complete it in the workshop as seen in this image. It is called Unlock Rare Artifacts. It costs 50 chromatic mana, which means mana of every single type, and 600 gold coins. And this would allow you to get blue artifacts. This is a cheap project and it's worth doing this as soon as you can. And then as you level up your workshop, you're gonna get access to another project that would allow you to unlock dropping legendary artifacts. At level 2 you start unlocking research fragments, which is basically you getting relic fragments, and those relic fragments are used to upgrade artifacts. So very nice functionality. And then there's at level 3 you get research fragments ether rush, where you pay unrefined ether to rush research fragments, a separate harvest, not the one that is time gated. And then let's show you an example artifact that could be crafted at the Arcane Workshop. Note that you can get many artifacts as a world drop, and this is just an optional crafting. The one I made is called Burgeoning Seed. It gives you health glow potency, which again, as you upgrade the artifact, rank it up to rank 10, it gets stronger. And then you get 125 green mana sorcery potency when this is at rank 10. And just like the other workstations, the Arcane Workshop can be upgraded all the way up to rank 6. Now next is the Mana Vault. This workstation or structure has two major functionalities. First, it can harvest planar mana, which is time gated but also has a version that's an ether rush version that uses refined ether to rush a separate harvest from the time gated one. And then the second function is Refine Shadow Orb. And this requires an Orb of Shadows that drops from world bosses, and players can only obtain up to 5 Orbs of Shadows per week, sadly. So that means you can only refine 5 of those per week. Another time gate. I'm such a anti-fan of time gates. Refining orbs will reward the Plainswalker with some gold, unrefined ether, and other resources such as chromatic mana and eternal echoes. Eternal echoes are items, consumables, resources needed to upgrade spells above rank 6, and they drop on expert and master mode. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's a nice way to get those early in the game. And just like the other workstations, the Mana Vault can be upgraded up to rank 6. Now we're moving on to the Prophetic Quill. And the Prophetic Quill is an endgame related structure workstation. It used to be referred in blog posts as a cartographer, but then they changed the name from cartographer to Prophetic Quill. And this allows for the creation of world enchantments. It's used to make the endgame experience harder but more rewarding. It's used to create world enchantments which can then be applied to content such as story missions or ordeals. through the guide segment, through the guide menu, and world enchantments can only be applied to hard, expert and master content. So far there are 27 world enchantments with 3 different tiers, but the devs will most likely continue adding more. And you can see at level 1 the Prophetic Quill gives you only the option to make world enchantments, but at level 2 we already unlocked the option to get Ether Rush, which means paying refined Ether to rush a separate world enchantment. At level 1 you can increase the capacity from 3 to 6. At level 2 from 6 to 9, at level 3 from 9 to 12, and so on. You can keep upgrading the Prophetic Quill and keep expanding your world enchantment inventory. Since it's time gated, it's gonna take a while for people to get a certain number of enchantments unless they buy it from the broker, which is probably what most people would be doing. Another function of the Prophetic Quill is the ability to expand your world enchantment inventory, as I mentioned. Here are some examples of other things you can do, such as the project to create enchantments and the one to expand the inventory size, as well as an example enchantment and what you can get if you salvage it. So you can see it takes 18 hours to make world enchantments. Very solid time gate, very bad time gate. Expanding the inventory, for example, from 6 to 9 would cost 150 mana of all types and 500 gold coins. It's barely anything, very cheap cost. Expanding the world enchantment inventory from 9 to 12, 500 mana of all types and 2000 gold coins, reasonable price. Then now you're seeing an example world enchantment as viewed from the guide segment in your inventory. Groove resistance, which is tier 101 common, and enemies take, I think it's tier 1 not 101, enemies take 70% less damage from red and green sorcery spells, so you better not be using red and green if you're doing this enchantment. Then salvaging a world enchantment does not seem really worth it. You only get 200 unrefined ether, so it's not even refined. By destroying this tier 1, probably tier 2 and tier 3 enchantments would be better and more worth it, and they would probably have less of a negative effect, but in general I think it's not gonna be worth it. It's probably gonna be better to just sell it to someone else who might want it. The meditation realm is just one of the things that will keep us busy and grinding planar mana, gold, ether and other resources. Those who dislike grind may not enjoy this, but if you're well versed in the art of repetitive farming of the same content, then you'll feel right at home in Magic Legends and your meditation plane. I hope this video was helpful to some of you out there. If you have any more questions or want to know more about it, feel free to share those with me. To get notified when I upload more content for this game or other games like this one, which would be wooters of all varieties, isometric, third-person ARPGs, wooter shooters and all sorts of wooters like that, you could subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to not miss out on my content updates. And optionally, you can even join as a member of the Struck Club on YouTube as a channel member to get access to exclusive perks such as special emotes custom made by me, special badges custom made by me that represents how many months you have been a member for, as well as opt-in of editing tutorials that I can give for Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, as well as shoutouts and things like that. And I would like to use this part of the video to thank all my YouTube members and Twitch subscribers. Thank you for supporting the channel and keeping me going. Thank you also for watching this video, everyone. Keep it cool, Struck Club. Until next time, and goodbye.